Tom Grennan, Magic in the Morning, 8:35 for just a few more seconds. It is a Tuesday morning, final one of the month of April, final day of the month of April. Where in the world did it go? Doesn't matter. It means we're getting closer to our next favorite season, the shortest one we have, summer. And even way sooner than that, it's a weekly edition of Good Policies with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance. Good morning.
Good morning. Hopefully this is also shorter than summer, this conversation. So, yeah.
I won't even go there. First off, I want to apologize for last week. I know that you were home with little man because he was on school break, but we had an issue with the processor and the phone line, so we weren't able to get you on the air with our edition last week. I apologize for that. Okay?
Not a problem. A week off. I'll take it.
All right. So here we are, and I remember over our past few conversations, we started talking about things like hard market and stuff like that. With all of our recent conversations, Mike, here on Tuesday mornings, the common denominator is, well, like everything out there, the price just keeps going up. Is there any way we can change it? For even individuals?
Yeah, it's a tough time. This is really, I call it uncharted waters. That's really where we're at. And Jeff, you and I have talked about it pretty extensively over the past year with insurance prices on the rise. And, insurance renews once a year. So people were hearing us talking about it, but they weren't necessarily seeing it. These rate increases were implemented. And again, remember, standard companies, admitted carriers like Progressives, the Geicos, State Farms, Cooperative Insurance, Concord Group. The list goes on and on. Nationwide, Allstate. Let's just keep going. Safeco, Travelers. I'm mentioning companies, obviously, that I don't even represent, but they all did it. Everybody had to. Everybody was submitting to the state of Vermont, the Department of Financial Regulation, increases in rates for both auto insurance and for property insurance, both personal and commercial, by the way. And the reason being is that the companies were essentially losing money. For every dollar of premium collected, the national average for auto insurance was that they were paying $1.08 out in claims. So they were losing 8 cents on the dollar. At one point, it got to almost 25 cents on the dollar on a national average. So, and believe me, when I tell you this, I don't drink the Kool-Aid, but I read and understand that this is truly what's happening. Companies haven't mismanaged their money. I think that the industry has really found themselves in a situation of having to catch up quickly because, as we've seen, severity of claims, frequency of claims, both on the rise. Short of labor and materials, increased costs of both as well. Everything kind of added up to this perfect storm to really adversely impact insurance companies, which has led to rate increases.
Yeah, the horrible two words.
I don't say it loud.
Well, we've talked about this obviously in the past because not everybody's listening every single week that we get together. So one of the reasons that if I remember right, one of the reasons that the rates have gone up was because of all of those coverages we had over the past couple of years. But if we look at the recent news, we just had those horrible tornadoes just wreak havoc down there. Those people are going to be making insurance claims. So these are the things to do it. How can we fix it? What can we do?
You can look at your policy and try to identify ways to save money. And one of the first ways and easiest ways is if you have a low deductible, think about how important that low deductible is for you. Do you have it just because you've always had it? If so, and you're not necessarily one to be prone to filing a small claim, why do you have a low deductible? Increase it, because that will help you with saving some money. So, if you've had a policy for ages, maybe your homeowner deductible is $100 or $250. Companies don't even offer that anymore. So if you have it, holy cow, good for you. But would you use it? Well, maybe not. So would a $500 deductible be a good choice? How about a $1,000 deductible? Do you have the ability and the means to protect yourself and to cover the first $1,000 of a loss on your home? If you do, look and see how that could help you. You could save hundreds of dollars a year, boom, just by doing that. And the same goes for auto insurance. I've seen over the years, a lot of people like to keep low deductibles for comprehensive, which covers fire, theft, vandalism, impact with animals, glass damage, things like that. Maybe they have a $0, $50, or $100 deductible there. Why not go to $250 or $500 and see if you can take advantage of companies that offer the $0 glass deductible regardless of your comprehensive choice, right? And then look and see if your collision is below $500. And if it is, look and see how increasing it to $500 would help. It will offset your cost pretty quickly.
Well, there's also, too, a common misconception in people's minds out there. You listed off some of the big online insurance companies. A lot of people think that that's the place to go to save money, but I mean, you guys are all dealing with the same apples and apples and oranges and such. But
Yeah.
the one thing that you have close to home is that direct connection.
Yeah, I mean, we've had folks, certainly with the increase in auto insurance rates, people have been quoting elsewhere, and I totally get that and think that's a great thing to do. I'm not going to hold against you. I think it's a great thing. I had one recently who wanted to have our opinion on something that was found, and I found that it was, literally cutting more than in half the liability limits on the current policy, taking medical payments down by almost a $10,000 limit. Increased deductibles, no glass deductible, so you can certainly find cheaper coverage. That's never going to be a question. Are you going to sacrifice coverage in doing so? That's the thing, right? If you can find equivalent coverage and not put yourself in harm's way and save money, do it. I think that's great. But there's one other thing, Jeff, that we really should keep at top of mind. I've been with my current home and auto insurance carrier since I bought my house in 2009. So I got some history there, and I've got two tiny little claims, both comprehensive claims with glass. Actually, my wife had a collision. She'll kill me for saying that. But in all these years, we've had some pretty minor incidents. But let's say I say, you know what? I want to find greener grass over here, and I switch. And now I'm with a new company, and what if I have an accident in the first year and a half, 2 years? That's really their first taste of me as a customer. And that's not going to bode well for me in the long run. I could see a significant rate increase. They could non-renew me. So really looking at deductible options is a nice, safe way to stay with the same company and to kind of wait out the storm that we're in right now, or at least hopefully it'll come to an end. But it's something to think about for sure.
Well, things will change in the other direction. They always do. I mean, it was better before this, so it'll be better after it.
I hope so. It's a corrective action that makes it just more difficult in the market right now. And before I go too far, a big old happy birthday to my dad, Richard Barrett. He's celebrating a birthday today. I will not say the age, but I know that Dirt calls him Sir. Just kidding, Dad. Totally kidding. Oh, my God. I better get you something nice for your birthday. Of course, for those who don't know, he was the predecessor of my wife and I at Barrett Insurance, and he's doing really well, enjoying retirement, and having a great birthday today. So happy birthday, Dad.
So we'll use the same thing I do when I talk about my age. So he was a teenager when Mount Pisgah came up.
Indeed. He actually saw the water fill in at Lake Willoughby. And then one other sidestep, NEK Can's headline on Saturday, May the 4th be with you at Goodfellas. We'll have our Rail Trail and Ale 5K. All funds going to NEK Can. Go to nekcan.org or our Facebook page for more details and to sign up.
All right, contact info. Wrap it up.
Give us a call, 748-5224. That's Barrett Insurance, by the way. You can also find us online, Barrett Insurance, thebarrettagency.com. Look for us on Google, Instagram, Facebook, and whatever else I tell you we're on. YouTube at Barrett Insurance Agency.
Mike,
I got all discombobulated with NEK Can things. So.
How good to have you in here, my friend. We'll see you in a week.
Sounds good.
Magic in the Morning moves on with Dua Lipa.